Hi, welcome back to Insurance Test Help. We are going to look today at how to pass. This works for all insurance exams, and if you're moving on to securities, it works for securities as well. Just deposit FINRA anywhere that I've put your state insurance department. So you are going to use the percentages of the exam to know what to study most. I know it seems perfectly logical, but every state is a little bit different on what they stress and where they put the most weight, and it also depends on what testing center they use. So let's get started. So as I said, every state is a little bit different on their percentages of weight. They also have different laws. So you have to study the state-specific material that you have in your pre-licensing stuff to get your state-specific breakdown. It's very simple. Google your state and then insurance exam, whatever insurance exam, say life insurance exam breakdown, and it will give you the breakdown for your state, say wherever, Georgia, life insurance exam. If it's not coming up, you can simply add the words. I would put breakdown at the end, but you can also put PDF at the end, and it will for sure pop up. This will prevent there from being too many ads for all of the people trying to sell you a licensing course, because sometimes they push the actual state, which is weird, down past the first page. So try that if you cannot get the state. And if for some reason you still can't get the state, hit me in the comments, and happy to be a help, but you should be able to get it with Googling your state, which exam it is, break it down. If you can't get it, add PDF to the end, and you should get it. Once you do that, you can end up with something. I took some and kind of PDF'd them because I didn't want to put the actual state ones in here. Wasn't sure I was allowed to actually do that. So here's what it will look like. It will come out with what the test is. So this one would be life and health, and it will tell you how many questions, how long you have to take it usually, and how many pretest questions. Those are ones that don't count. And it'll give you the different topics. It'll give you a category. So for this one, for example, it's types of policies. It'll tell you how many questions, 15 questions. Some of them, it'll give you a percentage. Then it will tell you exactly which things to study under types of policies. So for the 15 questions, you have all of those things there: traditional whole life, ordinary whole life, etc. So you can use these as a checklist of all these little things that you need to know for that category. It'll have, however many categories make up the 100 questions. If you're property and casualty, same thing, 28. This, you need to know all these things. All this, law, large numbers, insurable interest, risk, what different types of risk. All these, wow, look at that list. See how it works? From another state where they did the percentage. So you can see this one is for the life accident and health agent. It is 150 questions, 2.5 hours. They're telling you how long. This is their section on individual health insurance policies. Only 4%. Shouldn't be taking up a lot of your study time, but you still need to know all of these things here. So it gives you a really good breakdown on what to study for. And here it goes into, like if you were doing P&C, here's your personal lines. This one really tells you why you need to study your state. So where I live, P&C, probably auto did make up this amount, but it did not have anywhere near that amount of state-specific laws. So this one has a ton of state-specific laws. So you really need to know what is particular to your state. So it's very important to know what is going on in your state. So that'll give you an idea on pulling out the specifics for your state. You can use it like a checklist. You must study your state-specific materials. It is going to make up a good percentage of your exam, even if your state does not have a lot of state-specific laws. At a bare minimum, it's going to be 15%. That is why a lot of states require you to take a pre-licensing course. And even if they don't, it is a good idea to still take one. So really consider taking a pre-licensing course, even if your state does not require you to take one. Well, we're on sort of licensing and testing. A lot of people get caught up in who the testing center is. It doesn't matter. PSI and Pearson and any of the other ones that the state will use are going to kind of be similar. A lot of states use PSI. 2 of those ones I just showed you were PSI, and 2 of them were Pearson. So you kind of saw that they were kind of similar, right? So do the one for your state, pick it out, and go through all of the questions that your pre-licensing course has. If you were scoring 80s on your pre-licensing course readiness test, you're probably ready to go and take your test regardless of who the provider is. One warning I will give you, there are a lot of except questions. Like all of these are true except for this. I find it a little sneaky and a little underhanded. I don't like it, but I found it on all of my insurance exams. I found quite a few of them on my securities exams. I don't like the sort of trying to trap you out question. I'd rather you just test whether I know it, yes or no, right? Like, do I know the right answer, rather than try to trap me into, do I know the 3 wrong answers? But on that note, make sure that you do beware of the except question, and on that, read the full answer, read the full question, and read all of the answers to make sure that you're not getting trapped up into one of those, okay? Understand basic concepts first. Better to understand all of the things that make up kind of like what is basic life insurance or what is basic house insurance before you try to get into all the little nitty-gritties. What parts make up a basic policy before you get into all of the nitty-gritties of what makes up all of the little clauses and extras. You can't really get into all of the ways annuities work if you don't really understand what an annuity is. Does that make sense? So I have a couple really good videos with all the definitions that go over all like the, get ready at the last minute, but I also have free printable glossaries for the P&C, the life and health, and for the SIE. So if you need a downloadable printable to like read on your lunch break, go ahead and grab those. They're free on our website. The links are in the description. Make sure you understand all the rules of your exam going into it. Make sure you don't miss any sections or any questions. Use that little flag if you have to go back on little questions. And, I know it sounds really simple, but don't leave anything on the table, right? Like, even if it's a total guess, it's better than leaving like one blank, because it might be right. As you get ready and you get closer near the end, I do recommend maybe you keep some flashcards. I know it's old school, but there is something called the Leitner method. It is something where you write down all the ones that you don't know. You study those every single day until you start getting them right. And then the ones that you really, really know, you study less often. Some people do it in 3 piles. Some people do it in 4 or 5 piles. Do whatever works for you, or don't do it at all. But it is something that is a proven method of, and it's free. You just use little flashcards, and it's real old school, from, I don't know, probably the 70s or something, but before computers. But it is a proven method for getting concepts drilled into your head. I hope this has helped give you some tips and tricks for passing. Be sure to like and share my videos. Thank you so much for your nice comments. I love them. They're so great to get on my way to my insurance job. And I wish you the very best of luck on your exams. Any questions, always hit me in the comments. I'm happy to help. Take care. Bye.